Flags are clearly an important part of what it means to be an American. But why is that? Why do we care so much about a piece of cloth?
Flags are like a human impulse. There's no other way that we found to create a tangible or a visual artifact that could show emotions, that could depict how we feel and how we belong. And for Americans, flags are really about patriotism and pride.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
How many Supreme Court cases have there been about model trains, and how many soldiers have risked their lives on the battlefield for a stamp? But flags have seen both of those things.
There are many extraordinary institutions in Washington. One of my favorites is the Library of Congress.
You're Mr. Rubenstein, aren't you?
That's me.
I retired from the library.
Okay.
The Library of Congress has grown to 170 million items, the world's largest library. It was modeled after an Italian palace to show that in this country we build palaces to knowledge. This is the Gutenberg Bible. It is the earliest example of movable type, and this particular copy is one of only 3 in the world.
So this is about the most valuable book you can get, right?
Oh, yeah.
Inside, you can find answers to history's most important questions, and maybe clues to understanding the Gadsden flag.
This is the earliest print that we have here at the Library of Congress from 1779, and as you can see, a rattlesnake is entwined and ready to bite the European powers.
The rattlesnake, or the serpent, was about the most feared animal, I guess, at the time. That's why it was a symbol of...
Well, Europe didn't have exotic venomous snakes like America, and so it was feared.
Where are we now in the Library of Congress?
Right now we're in the James Madison Memorial Building.
So you have humidity control and other things here?
Yes, it's a climate-controlled vault. This is where all of our gold-level collection items are stored. We'll be having a look at this item.
Okay, this is the Pennsylvania Gazette from 1754. Join or die. So this is the original Benjamin Franklin drawing of a serpent cut in pieces.
Yes, so this was the first political cartoon published in America. And what you'll see is all of these colonies are represented in 8 pieces.
Rattlesnakes were these sort of defensive creatures by nature. There was a certain appeal to that. This idea that we are going to take the high ground, this defensive position. But if you mess with us, then we will come out fighting. And so that has this sort of colonial, frontier, sort of rough around the edges characteristic that many of these colonists saw themselves as possessing.